Now, I may be living under a rock, and I don't get the whole concept for sure, but I kind of thought we were done worrying about the royals in, 1776 when we broke away and formed our own country. That's what I thought. What do I know? I'm just an unprivileged American. Oh, hi. Welcome to the Cool Dad Rules podcast, Parenting Survival with Bill Adams. That would be me. Thanks so much for being here. By the way, sharing the podcast wherever you get your podcast and sharing that along and finding thecooldadrules.com and the Facebook page and emailing in. I love your suggestions and all your comments to thecooldadrules@gmail.com. Always appreciate that. But we have to address this thing, okay? Now, understand something. It pains me to have to talk about this Oprah interview with Harry and Meghan again. I get it. You're sick of it. Maybe you didn't even see it. I barely saw it myself, just the highlights that I needed to kind of like cherry pick on this thing. But we got to talk about it. 17 million people watched this thing. And I don't want to rehash all the details and everything they went through and the story and the reaction, how the royals feel, how the Brits feel. I don't care. But there's a real relevant lesson here that we, as hardworking, regular folks trying to raise our kids as parents, can take away from this. And it's about entitlement. It really is. Now, let's set this thing up, right? Let's put this all in perspective. Again, even if you didn't see it. Here's what we have here with this interview that was, by all accounts, a huge success. You've got a multi-millionaire actress and a royal husband who's worth even more millions talking with a billionaire talk show host on a property that's worth, I found out, $17 million and 24/7 free media coverage for a week that apparently the whole world heard about. And they're going to talk to us about being oppressed and trapped and how bad they have it as royals? And we're supposed to care about this? Again, might be the worst example of entitlement I've ever seen. Really, truly. And here's how it applies to us as parents. Because it happens every once in a while, whether you have boys or girls or how many kids or what age, I think entitlement pops in. You know, you get that sense of the world owes me something. Something, it's a part of growth. They go through this. Well, everyone will accept me for what I am. They owe me something. I'm deserved this. I think it's a natural part of childhood, right? But when it pops up in a weird kind of way, these two knuckleheads, Harry and Meghan, have given us a great extreme example of what we should stay away from as parents and what we need to nip in the bud, really, because it's an extreme example of two things that I think are toxic in a family dynamic. Celebrity culture and royal entitlement, or any kind of entitlement, because the world owes you nothing. You and I know this, right? But it's our job to pass that on to kids. Now, I know, let's get this out of the way right now. I know that there's the talk about the mental health issues that she alleged and the racism that she brought up in the interview. I get that. This is not a criticism of that. Quite frankly, I don't even care. That's not my perspective on this. I don't care. I care as a parent, like you, as a regular person, what I can take from this and the absurdity of the entire thing. So let's clear that up right away. It's not a criticism of that at all. But I will tell you this. When I hear statements like this, I absolutely are going to criticize this. Let's go to the audio from the interview. Let's hear from Meghan Markle, shall we? Here we go.
Trapped within the system, like the rest
Or
of my
Harry.
family are. My father and my brother, they are trapped. They don't get to leave. And I have huge compassion for that.
Would you want to leave? What do you mean trapped? You're trapped as a royal? With all that privilege and protection and any time you want to float something out to the media and any message you want to get out there, you're trapped? Really? It's not just about the money. Trapped. Let's hear now from Meghan. I thought we were going to her first. Here's what she said about being saved from the entire situation. She saved him, he says. He saved her, she says. I don't know. Let's go to Oprah again.
Yeah, she did. Without question, she saved me.
I think that's lovely. I would disagree. I think he saved all of us.
From what? Living as what? Billionaires? Royals? Is that what you were saved from? And I think this is what drives me the most crazy of this entire thing. And again, great opportunity to bring this up with your kids if they're talking about this, right? They're actually talking about being saved from a situation that was so tough to go through that they had to escape from America and live and downscale to only millionaires in the States. This is what they had to escape from, right? All this while so unbelievably cluelessly tone deaf in this country and countries around the world, in their own home country, in the UK, Harry's own people have lost jobs, businesses, lives because of COVID. In some cities we know right here in the States, people have been trapped inside for like close to a year. Really? And they're actually going to go on TV, and we all fell for it apparently, and talked about how tough they actually have it, right? That's what drives me crazy. And I'll say it again because I think there are 2 points that we need to avoid like the plague as parents. Celebrity culture worship, which is awful. It really is. They don't relate to anybody. And this sense of entitlement and privilege that they have. It's exactly what we should stay away from. Now, here's how it applies to us as parents. Nobody owes you anything, sweetheart, dear darling. And I've certainly had this conversation with my daughter who, it happens. Actually, both daughters. I'm sure you've gone through it too. Where they think the world owes them something, right? That they're entitled to the world treating them with some sort of special privilege because they've been taught their whole lives how special they are. And they are, except they can't act like that. That's where we run into trouble. Nobody owes you anything. And there's a great out for this as parents, and this is a great opportunity to bring this up. When you want to nip this in the bud, show them how good they actually have it, because there's always somebody that has it worse. I'm not rich. You're probably not either. I didn't grow up rich, but there's always somebody worse off. And just as an example here on my laptop, just now, just a couple of minutes ago, I brought up volunteer opportunities to help out underserved and underprivileged people in my own community here where I live. First page on a Google search, it came up with 17 opportunities to volunteer. First couple were a soup kitchen. Those are back now. Soup kitchens in this economy with what people are going through. You don't think this is a great opportunity to tell kids, hey, you think you have it tough? Here you go. Let's go. Let's go see how bad you really have it. Let's go talk to some other people, right? Celebrity worship? You think the royals have it bad and you want to put this in perspective? Let's talk about some real people in our own community. You don't even have to go too far to find out how bad people really have it. And that's a great way to put it in perspective with kids. It worked with mine, that's for sure. Volunteer opportunities. In the fall, to volunteer and to feed the hungry around Thanksgiving time, that's a great way to do it too. Or any time at all. Anything. You can find a multitude of ways to help out with people in our community, to find out how lucky they actually are in their own situation and to realize exactly how lucky they have it in almost every single circumstance. For the celebrity royals to get up there and tell us that they've had it so tough, please, absolutely ridiculous. There's opportunities here for everybody to change this entire thing. And that's another thing, too, with a tough conversation to have with your kids. I have it. I get it. I have 2 daughters. I've called them my princesses in the past, but it's really important for all of us to make sure that they don't grow up becoming princesses and having that attitude, right? It doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to. Use it if you have to. Use it as an example of the Markles, of Harry and Meghan, and what you don't want your kids to become, because it doesn't have to be that way. So, we all suffered through this ridiculous interview that apparently 17 million plus, probably more than that by now, saw. But use it as an opportunity. I did, absolutely, and it worked. It's a conversation starter, and so many of these things we talk about give us an opportunity to bring up the conversation, right? And this one's all about entitlement and how we can avoid it. Escaped. Please. Are you kidding me? All right, with that, I'll leave you with this. Some rejected titles. Apparently, Oprah didn't want to listen to me for this interview. What did she call it anyway? The interview with Harry and Meghan? I can't even remember. Apparently, she didn't want to listen to me on this. I had a couple of ideas. You ready? She could have called it The Interview. Prince Harry and Yoko Markle. The Interview. No, not so much. Is that a little too much? Okay, that's a little too much. That's... I didn't promise that these were good. Prince Harry, the world's worst grandson. Huh? You like that one? Oh, it's not enough about her? All right, I get it. How's this? This is my favorite one. Here you go. Ready? Harry and Meghan, Coming to America 3. Huh? Come on. Sequels are big these days. All right, you didn't like that either. All right. Then if you don't want that, let's turn it into a telethon idea. Here's what the title should have been. I don't know why Oprah didn't listen to me. The Telethon. Harry and Meghan. How you can help them transition to their new millionaire status in the States. Come on. That would work too. We can use that all. Hey, by the way, thanks so much for hanging out with me and the Cool Dad Rules. Again, you can always find me. It's Bill Adams at thecooldadrules@gmail.com. That's thecooldadrules@gmail.com, if I can get those words out correctly. Also, wherever you get your podcasts, you can download it, wherever that is. Free to you, obviously. Share it along. I always appreciate that. And the Facebook page as well. The Cool Dad Rules just listed right there under Facebook. I always appreciate that as well, because we're going to figure this parenting thing out together. We're going to do it. Absolutely. You know, we can do it. We don't need royals. Nah. No princesses here. Not in my family, anyway. Certainly not. Thanks for hanging out with me. We'll talk to you in a week.